Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. It is finally a beautiful sunny day here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Probably about the last week and a half it's been raining. It's still kind of wet out there, but at least it's not raining. As you just saw, we have a new addition to the homestead here. I'm very excited about it, and we'll go into more detail on that. But first, let me clean this up, and then we'll pull it in the shop. Okay, bench is cleaned up. This space here in the shop is cleaned up. So this is a 1996 John Deere 755 with a 3-cylinder Yanmar diesel engine. I picked this up at an auction last weekend, and I'm very pleased with it. I'm very pleased with the price I paid for it. And it does have a couple issues, one of which we can hopefully get into today. The other might be for another day. But I definitely paid a decent, like a good price for it. I was told by someone in one of the, 55 series groups that what I paid is basically what the loader itself would be worth without the tractor. So getting the tractor with the loader is a good deal. But one of the issues we are having here, if I turn the key on, my lights are not working at all. I've changed out the bulbs. That didn't fix it. There's one other thing I need to check here that hopefully will fix it. Supposedly there is a ground somewhere here under the seat. sure where that would be. That spring's broken, but that's no big deal. The other issue is, which you can probably see it because it's warmed up, there's a leak with this injector right here. I don't know if it's just a bad seal or if it's just not in there tight enough, but hopefully we can get into that as well. Maybe another day, but possibly today. So let's see if we can find this ground. I'm actually going to start by taking this bracket off. I don't really have a use for these, and then the way they've got it set up, they've just run some lines to click into the loader connects down there, and I kind of don't like them dangling there. So I'm going to pop this off of here. We'll leave this piece. Take these off, get those hoses out of there, set it off to the side. And whoever designed these hydraulic fittings needs a good smack, because these are a pain in the butt. I get it's older and somebody probably let them get a little rusty, but still, these are annoying, especially on the loader hookup, compared to, like, you know, the typical, this would be kind of flat. It wouldn't have like this kind of mushroom tip to it. So let me figure out what size these are and we'll get that off. Let's see if I can get this. Nope, I'm gonna have to find a way to hold that back nut. Problem is I don't seem to have an 8mm wrench. So I wonder if I might have another 8mm socket that I can grab onto the back with. Huh. I wonder if they're the same size or if this one's... Okay, let me... I have a crescent wrench, hopefully that'll work. I wonder if maybe... that might actually be 5/16. Which I do have a 5/16 wrench. Set that down. There we go. I mean, technically, everything on here should be standard. Even in the 90s, I don't think they had gone to metric yet. Come on. There we go. Really just need to break them loose so I can turn them off by hand. That's weird. Oh, of course. I have a better idea. Set those there for now, and I'll get those lines out of there. Come on. There's one. I think that one's a little wedged down into that fender support. There, should be able to pull it out now. There we go. Just set it there for now. Put these back in the bracket. All right. Now, I'm curious as to where this ground should be. See, there's a plug there, but that looks like it's some sort of sensor. And then the plug goes through there. Plug goes through there. I don't see where there could be a ground back here. That goes to the seat switch. This loom here looks like it's going towards the front of the tractor. So, let's see. How are we going to tackle this? Yeah. It's grounding to the fender. Which the fender would ground to the frame. And I've already replaced the switch and tested that there's power coming out of the switch. It has this little fuse block here, which has this little fuse block here, which I've tested. There's power going through all of these fuses. That seems a little loose in there, though. I wonder... Give me a minute. So this is the weird part. If I turn the key to accessory with the switch set to the flashers and I turn the key to off, they flash. So I wonder, is it my key switch? This key switch does kind of turn hard. I wonder if maybe it's the key switch. And I only wonder if it's the key switch because now it is getting power, but I noticed like it wasn't seeming like it was getting a full 12 volts. But I wasn't sure if that was normal or not, because typically like you'll see in, sometimes in like automotive circuits, like sometimes it's like there's something there's like a resistor in there to bring the voltage down because whatever it's supplying doesn't need a full 12 volts. but I'm almost wondering now if that's not the case here, which would make sense. So, let me get this side panel off and see if I can get to that key switch at the back and see what's going on there. Getting this panel off is pretty easy, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts. And I believe, because I had it off the other day, I believe it's 3/8. Although I might have used like a 10 mil socket because that's what I had. I should have a 3/8 in here somewhere. That's a quarter. 5/16. Ah, 3/8. Oh no, these were actually 10 mils. Yeah, those were actually 10 mils. It's weird because sometimes you'll find stuff that's the fasteners on a machine or even a vehicle will be like a mix of metric and standard, and it drives you insane. Oh. Now, to be fair, I did this the other day with the loader off, so it was not quite as cramped, although I probably could have used a short socket. I know I've got one, but that one should be, where are you at? There you are. Come on, you can do it. And it's just that easy. Although then getting it out of there is another question because it's a little bit of feng shui because of this. Set that off over there with the engine panel, and then take a look at this wiring. Figure out what goes where. And it's kind of tight in here because you've got this right in the way. This is the linkage for the PTO engagement. So I've got it set to flashers. Let's see if I can jiggle anything around. Wait. Yeah. It's the key switch. Okay. So, I'm gonna have to get this off of there and clean up those connections. Okay, sweet. Let's get this out of there. I am recording, right? Yep. Move the camera back a little bit. Ooh. How are we gonna get that out of there? Oh. The heck are you? You just appeared out of nowhere. Okay. Let me... I wonder... Wait. I wonder if it is a bad ground. Because there's almost like a ground strap here behind it. I wonder if that's my issue. Is that it's not grounding. The problem though is like trying to get this out of there. Well, let me pull these connectors off individually. Hang on. Let's throw this back on there for now. Come on, broski. Get on there. Okay. There's one. These two separate connectors here? That's what it seems like. I wonder if I should just move this linkage out of the way. could. Yeah, let's do that. I'd rather not break this pin. Oh, come on. Really? We're gonna play that game. There we go. There. Okay. Set that there. Slide this pin out. Okay. And finish taking this out. Okay, just get it out of the way. Maybe. Stay. Okay. Come on. There. So you can see what I'm talking about. There's almost like this ground strap there. There is some corrosion in there too, though. Let me just disconnect this. Let's see. I have a set of jumper cables. This is going to be a bit of a risky attempt to supply ground, but it should work. But I mean, I would think it's getting ground anyways, considering it's turning everything else on, but that's weird. Let's see if I hook this. Let's move you guys for a second. Under here. It's kind of gross. Come on. Hook that under there. Although, that might be because that needs to be cleaned under there. I don't think the other side is any cleaner. Okay, so we're scrapping that idea. I don't think it's a ground issue. I think it's somewhere
Clean
in
that
here.
up and try
I'm
again.
looking at the electrical diagram for the lighting circuit operation. This side here is where the lights come through. This is where that circuit gets its power, and like I said, it seemed low. I think it was maybe reading about 8.5 volts at that point, even with the tractor running. So I'm cleaning these connections up, all of them, because, you know, just good practice, clean them all up. Because, I mean, they're dirty. There's like mud and stuff in there, which really shouldn't be in there. If it comes down to it, I'll get it a whole new ignition switch, but hopefully cleaning up these terminals will make a difference. And then we'll also look at the harness that plugs into that, because it looked like there was like a little bit of the plastic had melted away on this side. So this is how it sits in the tractor, and this piece was facing me and it looked like that melted a little bit right there. So, but I don't think that's going to be the issue. Well, I have narrowed it down. It's definitely not the key switch, although I did order a new key switch. I also ordered a new connector that goes into the ignition switch, because like I was saying, there is a spot on there where it's kind of melted away. But the issue is definitely somewhere in that wiring harness. So I've got both of those ordered. I'm gonna finish buttoning it up. But as for this video, this will be it for today. Next time we'll work on that leaky injector, and we'll get that all buttoned up. That way we can kind of alleviate any problems that might be causing. But I hope you guys have a great day, have a great weekend, and I really hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye, guys.